Hello, today is Monday, September 11th, 2023. I'm Adam Hartog. Sitting next to me, as always, is my court-appointed attorney and 1-0 in my fantasy league, my co-host, Thomas Frey. To my left is producer Rue, and this is episode 21.
21.
Can you do something for me? Of the Breaks Down podcast, powered by 528 Collectibles. Fun episode today. Going to recap some of the major events in college football, talk about the exciting NFL Week 1 slate. All right, let's do it. Okay, recording this just after 8 p.m. on Monday. The Jets and Bills are about to kick off Week 1's edition of Monday Night Football. My favorite broadcast booth in the NFL currently, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on ESPN. Should be a good game. Some exciting college football action this past weekend. Texas beat Alabama 34-24 in Tuscaloosa. Did you get to see this game?
I saw parts of it. I didn't get to see the entire thing. It's going to be a hard time for me to talk football after what happened to my Giants last night. We'll get into it a lot more later, but it's been bothering me all day and will continue to throughout the entire episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I mean, we're going to have to talk about it at some point.
Oh, I know. I'm just
the Bears got blown out too, so at least we have that. We'll always have that.
Yeah, that's great. I hope we don't always have that.
Me too.
Yeah.
We will. Quinn Ewers, 349 and 3 touchdowns. Jatavion Sanders led Texas with 114 receiving yards. A.D. Mitchell, the Georgia transfer, 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Xavier Worthy, 75 yards and a 44-yard touchdown on a moonshot by Ewers. I thought Ewers was very impressive this game. The talk of Arch versus him has essentially gone away.
I think all he needed to do was
not stink.
Yeah, not be garbage. I don't think they wanted to hand Arch the job, especially, I mean, again, he was the top recruit in the country at a time. I don't think they just want to throw him aside if they think he's got potential. He definitely, for sure, improved his draft stock.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing because I believe he's draft eligible because he left high school early to enroll at Ohio State. Then he got a bag, like an NIL bag there, didn't play, so he transferred back to Texas, which maybe was the plan all along because he's from Texas. And him and Sark has had that offense dialed in. Like even last year, they probably underperformed expectations, all things considered. They had Bama on the ropes until Ewers got hurt. But since he's gotten there, he's definitely making a case among the elite coaches in the game.
Sark being able to bring that program back from the brink. I mean, they have all of the resources you could ever imagine to be a good team. It's just they needed the right guy at the helm.
Yeah, and when Mac Brown was fired from Texas, they were still winning like 9-10 games. And the idea that in the decade or so, a little less than that followed, multiple times they would flirt with bowl ineligibility during seasons was unthinkable at the time.
Mm-hmm.
For Bama, Jalen Milroe was 14 for 27, 255 with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Bama could not run the ball. They only had 3.1 yards per carry. And I did a little research. The last time that Alabama lost a home game before conference play started, do you have any guesses?
I'm looking at the stat right in front of me. I can't pretend not to know.
Well, give me your best guess, all things considered.
My best guess is 2003.
That is exactly when they lost their last game before conference play.
Hell of a guess by me.
Don Shula was leading the program.
That's pretty insane, actually.
Yes, 20 years. Granted, teams like Alabama don't often play Texas. Well, I mean, that's not. I guess that's not true because they've opened the season with Florida State, who was ranked 3rd at the time when DeAndre Francois got hurt, an injury that made him vanish, essentially. They've played USC, who's been highly ranked, but Texas is kind of a different monster. They're going to be an SEC team next year. But, all right, what does this mean? So this is the first time since pretty much 2009 that Alabama isn't one of the 2 best teams in the country, and that bothers me because I don't like change, and that has been one of the constants in a very formative period of my sports fandom development, has been Alabama being Alabama, being Nick Saban's powerhouse. Oh, heck, shoot, here come the Crimson Tide.
Do you think there's any chance they could still finish the season as one of the top 2 teams?
Top 2 is tough to see this year. I do think that it's too early to pronounce them dead because they had one of the best recruiting classes ever last year and the number 2 ranked class in 2022. It's a different Alabama team. I mean, in the past, we've seen Jalen Hurts, Tua, Mac Jones, Bryce Young. We've seen Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Waddle, O.J. Howard even back in the day. He was a first-round pick. Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, and then all the running backs. And they don't have those guys that we know of yet. They could have come in this recruiting class, but it's tough to see them compete with the likes of Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, USC, even like Florida State. I just don't think they're as good as those teams this year.
Yeah, that's fair. Even if they don't make the playoff this year, I'm not doubting their ability to come back and still be the best team next year. This isn't a Clemson situation in my eyes. Clemson's in big trouble.
They are, yeah. And the Clemson, it looks like they might lose the conference. Like Florida State, totally looks like it's their conference to lose. They look like one of the most talented teams in the country. I think the AP probably came out today. I missed it. Let me quickly. Florida State is 3 in the most recent AP rankings. Georgia, Michigan, FSU, Texas, USC, Ohio State, Penn State is the top 7. Alabama down to 10.
Still in the top 10. Still breathing.
Yeah, ahead of Tennessee. Tennessee fans are not going to like that.
I'm sure.
They did struggle with Austin Peay this weekend, though. But on the other side, Texas is maybe back, which is crazy. They might officially be back. Sark is a great coach, and if he can recruit the shit out of that state, then watch out. He had the 3rd ranked class last year in 2023, 5th ranked in 2022. It's the 17th ranked this upcoming year as of now, but all it takes is a couple guys to flip for that to shoot up. And it's a program with a ton of resources, an insane amount of booster money ready to be pumped into it to make them good again. And it seems like the sky could actually be the limit for them this time.
Yeah, it seems like UT might be all the way back.
I might have to flip my horns down to hook 'em.
Wow, you do that?
I probably wouldn't do that. I love doing horns down.
I didn't think so.
It's too good.
Yeah.
Also in college football, another big story, Prime Time's Buffs are 2-0. They beat Nebraska 36-16.
With every passing week, that Pac-12 championship bet gets better and better.
Yeah, what is the cash out option on it now?
I haven't looked, but it was at the time 10 for 1,000, I think, or 10 for 2,000, something. 10. I think it was 10 for 1,000. Yeah.
I assume you're just gonna keep that thing going as long as possible, unless they if they're in the conference championship and you haven't cashed out, you can't at all.
I'm not gonna cash it out unless the cash out's like $850.
How about if the cash out is enough for you to go to the game? Would you go to the game for content?
No, I would not go to
Pac-12 championship?
I have far too much going on in my life to squeeze in a quick Pac-12 championship game.
I would go with you, and I would pay for myself.
Well, that's good. I wasn't expecting to pay for you.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not expecting you to go alone.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't expect to go alone either. It's not going to happen, Ed. All the above.
Okay. But no, Folsom Field was electric for Deion's home debut. Gus and Joel were on the call, and just the amount of excitement I get when they switch from the pregame to the broadcast and it goes to the booth and it's Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt and it's just like, howdy partner, and then they do the fist bump. I'm like a little kid waking up. I'm like I was when I was a little kid waking up and Gus Johnson was on the call.
Yeah, most little kids aren't that excited by Gus Johnson.
They should be, though. They don't know what they're missing out.
I think a proper example would have been a kid on Christmas morning. Not so much a kid on Gus Johnson morning, but unless it's Gus Johnson's kids, but...
The Buffs started slow. but they let Nebraska dig themselves into a hole before the better players on Colorado kept the game out of reach. The Cornhuskers turned the ball over 4 times, and Shedeur, despite being under pressure for most of the game, had 393 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he added a rushing touchdown also. He's been really good.
I should have placed a Heisman bet after I brought it up last week. Now I'm just in the futures game, baby. I can't win any real bets. The Vikings cost me a lot of money yesterday, but a futures bet, I might win something.
I mean, I don't think they're going to win enough games for him to be in the Heisman conversation later in the season, like in November. But as of now, him and Caleb Williams are probably the front runners.
I think he's going to win it all.
Natty, too. He's going to pull the Jameis.
Maybe not the Natty.
Natty Heisman, no.
Yeah, no, maybe not the Natty. That's a little bit too much. Yeah. I don't mean all that, but
he was sacked 7 times though, Shedeur, and it's going to be tough to beat really good teams if they can't block. They have brought in a ton of skill position guys and Shedeur at quarterback, but they're going to need to start recruiting some offensive linemen, probably out of high school, and developing them in that system before they start to really compete.
How long until Deion goes to the NFL?
I feel like the next step is probably Florida State.
Okay. I read an article today that NFL teams are going to come calling if he keeps this up.
That's cool. I don't know what he wants to do also, because he might want to win a Natty more than he wants to win a Super Bowl, or feel like his talents are better served at the college level because he's Deion Sanders, and that is an enormous advantage.
That's fair. But he's also a competitor, and that's the highest level.
No, 100%, yeah. I'm sure if he wins a Natty at some point, he will want to win a Super Bowl.
That's fair. Super Bowl might be the ultimate goal, but the Natty might have to be a stepping stone for him to want to get there.
Yeah, but I think a school like Florida State, I mean, I say that because it's his alma mater, and that would instantly turn them. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the country now, but that would instantly bring them totally back, like confirmed, with a bullet back.
Perennial status.
Yeah.
That's
all I had on college football. That was, I think, the big stories from this weekend. Texas A&M lost to Miami. Tyler Van Dyke had 5 touchdowns, I think. So somewhat of a bounce back season for him, which I guess somewhat of a sleeper draft guy. Could maybe be like a late round pick. He was supposed to be projected as a high pick eventually going into last year, and he had a stinker. Also, we have some UFC news. Sean Strickland defeated Israel Adesanya by unanimous decision to win the middleweight championship. Producer Rue has let us know that this is an enormous upset.
Apparently one of the biggest upsets in UFC history.
Ever.
Maybe the biggest,
yeah.
Crazy.
His words.
Yeah, not mine.
Possible contenders for Sean.
What on earth?
Drickus Drew Plessis.
Drickus
Duplessis.
That's a tough name. Or the winner of Khamzat
Shemaev. Khamzat Shemaev. Yeah, that one I know.
Paulo Costa, I could say. That one, oh man.
Okay, the winner of Hamza versus Paulo.
Hope you guys weren't planning on getting some real insightful.
No, it is insightful. It is insightful. We just don't know these names.
Yeah, it's insightful, but it's just I can't. Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna get Rue his own mic so that he can contribute this without having to kick one of us out the booth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where does Izzy go from here? He's gonna try to get a rematch. Dana said that he should, but he lost 2 of the last 3, which makes people think he's not deserving of a rematch right now. It's a great career for him, no matter where he goes from here. One of the all-time guys. Rue, Mount Rushmore of his weight class?
Of his weight class, yeah.
Definitely Mount Rushmore of OWC.
Dana's all about promoting his stars. I think he'll give him another shot. He's a huge name. Huge to the point that even I know about him. So, that's saying something.
Cool. That was talking offs.
Yeah. Talking producer Rue. Talking Rue.
All right. We are going to recap Week 1 of the National Football League. Which game would you like to start with?
I assume we're going to start with Chiefs-Lions, no?
Yeah, that's logical.
Yeah, that's the most obvious choice.
We both have the Chiefs, so mea culpa's right there.
Yes, but we both said the Lions are a good team. We just didn't think they'd beat the Chiefs.
Well, what I didn't account for, and perhaps should be blaming you and producer Rue a little bit for, is Kadarius Toney was probably the worst player of all time.
How on earth could I have known how bad he was that he is now? He could catch passes when he was on the Giants.
Well,
sometimes more than he did. That's actually I've heard people say the worst wide receiver performance maybe ever.
He was single-handedly responsible for the pick six.
He is arguably single-handedly responsible for them losing that game.
He would arguably be more effective single-handed.
This is Evan Engram type costing team game type of stuff right here.
Yes, but it's the reverse Evan Engram.
How so?
Evan Engram is like pretty good now.
Oh, yeah, but Evan Engram was doing it for the Giants.
Yeah, but Kadarius Toney wasn't like actively costing the Giants games. He
No.
Nothing to help them win them.
Yes. But I just mean that level of basically shaving points.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, it's Chris Jones has re-signed his contract today. That helps a ton, yeah.
Kelsey almost suited up, so I think he'll probably be back for next week.
Yeah, and the Chiefs are going to be fine. I think there's anyone freaking out about the Chiefs is just looking for something to talk about on Friday.
There's, water cooler talk. So how about them Chiefs? Think they're done yet? Yeah, I don't know.
That happens more at your office, I think, than mine.
No. Well, water cooler talk, yes, but the sports takes are usually pretty smart, honestly.
Calculated, would you say?
No.
How come? Because they're uncalculated?
I think they're just firing from the hip.
Okay.
And most of the time I usually bring it up. So they can't calculate their thoughts beforehand.
How do you start a casual work conversation about sports?
This morning, someone said, "How you doing?" I said, "Been better. Had to watch the Giants get absolutely destroyed last night."
All right.
And then here we are.
I see. I was envisioning you going up to somebody and like, "How about them G-men?"
I could do that as well. The other day we watched, me and my boss watched the USA game when they lost. But
the basketball game?
Yeah, we watched it together. So
that's cute. I've watched the Chelsea game with my boss before.
I don't know if it's cute. I think it just happened.
How were you guys sitting?
He pulled up a chair next to mine and we watched it on my laptop. He wasn't sitting on my lap.
Next to you and you guys were watching on a laptop?
Yeah, next to me. What is he gonna watch from the door? How's he gonna see the game?
I'm just saying, Jay and I have watched stuff together next to each other on my laptop, and it's been kind of cute.
We're not laying in bed next to each other. We're sitting at a desk. How else would you possibly watch a game with someone in an office?
You guys don't have like a TV?
No. I don't even know how we got here.
Talking about.
Oh yeah, if it's cute.
Yeah, Chiefs. This is just talking about Chiefs Lions.
Yeah, Chiefs Lions. Lions win. Lions look pretty good.
Jahmyr Gibbs not really used very much.
Kind of saw it coming. Splitting carries. I don't like running backs who split carries. And he's a rookie.
No, but they said they were going to use him a ton.
People say things all the time that they don't mean.
That's true. That's deep.
I mean, it's just facts.
Yeah. All right, next game. I guess we should mention quickly that Aaron Rodgers potentially done forever. Left the game injured on the first drive.
Yes.
Now headed to the locker room on the cart.
No.
Off the cart, but limping badly.
You
see, this seems to me like a classic egomaniac. He's going to come out like in the early second quarter. Everyone's going to freak out.
You think this is
solely
for the applause?
This is a bit.
You think he just wants that one shining moment?
I think so, yeah. This guy can't stand that they probably did a ceremony before the game for something other than him.
Yeah, okay.
But the next game, Packers-Bears. That's a good segue.
Packers-Bears.
It could just be first on the list because I have them fit as my favorite team.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is, because that is nowhere near the top. Wasn't that a 4 o'clock game?
4:25. All right, well, we'll breeze through that one.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm in pain. I'm cramping.
All right, yeah. So we said we would do this based on the order of that ESPN had the games, and what happened is a classic. I forgot that because the Bears are hearted as my favorite team on ESPN, it shoots them to the very top.
Yep. So ads just thrown a real wrench into things. All right, Packers beat Bears handedly.
Same old shit.
Jordan Love looked really good.
He did. Bears defense really bad though.
Isn't Bears defense supposed to be like not bad?
Yes. Supposed to very much supposed to be not bad.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
They spent a ton of money. I mean, they got T.J. Edwards, they got Tremaine Edmonds, they signed DeMarcus Walker from Tennessee, among other guys. They drafted some linebackers. They drafted a corner, and it was really, really disappointing. And Jordan Love did look awesome. I have a feeling that I'm not saying he's definitely bad like I used to, but I'm saying that the Bears defense, I think, played a part in him having such a easy game.
But are you still in the camp that he's bad?
I don't think he's that good. He might not be terrible.
Not that good and might not be terrible is still a wide range. That's saying there's still the chance for him to be terrible versus might not be that good is...
I think there's a chance they don't replace him within the next 2 years.
Okay. But you also think, okay, I guess that's fair.
They're not going to give him like a you're our guy deal, I don't think.
Okay. I don't think he's going to follow up exactly in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers' footsteps. I don't think he's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But I see no reason why he can't be a decent starter.
Yes, I agree with that.
Maybe above average, because he's pretty athletic.
I think he will probably be the starter next year, which means things will have gone okay enough.
Okay, that's fair.
The Bears, Fields looked not like I hoped. They didn't also have the game plan that I think any Bears fan hoped for. Like, during the game, it was the things that they had hinted that they were going to do, like throwing the ball deep and with more consistency, they didn't do. And then Fields said after the game that was in the game plan. Like, everything they did was part of the game plan, which was somewhere between disappointing and concerning. And the hopes that I had have quickly vanished.
Especially because they were down for a lot of the game, right?
The Bears, yes, they were down for a lot of the game.
So you think they would have aired it out a little bit more to try and, come back. So for them to not open it up at all is, I think, definitely cause for concern.
Yeah, DJ Moore had, I think, 2 catches. Chase Claypool, 0 targets.
I think Chase Claypool is really bad.
I don't know how he's this bad.
I don't know how you can have as much success as he had, even in that one game, and then be this bad. Although this is kind of Kadarius Toney, how he was unbelievable for a few games there, and now it had one of the worst showings ever.
But Chase Claypool did it for a whole season, pretty much, and didn't really struggle with injuries. He just kind of stopped being good/used.
I think he just doesn't care.
Claypool doesn't care? Why not? He's on a rookie contract.
I don't know. It could have just been Angry Bears fans because we share that Twitter account.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I was reading was just him sleepwalking out there and not being even remotely a factor whatsoever. Beyond just the 0 targets, just looking like nonchalant, I guess is the word.
Well, if he felt he wasn't involved in the game plan, that could have pissed him off, which is not to excuse that because that's the worst.
He has no right to be demanding targets. What has he done?
Nothing.
You like you said, still on your rookie deal. You have to earn those targets.
Yeah, 100%. And you were traded. They traded what ended up being the 32nd overall pick in the draft for you, and then you didn't contribute whatsoever to the team in the first half season you were with them. And a lot of people were not making excuses because I think it was justified in saying things like it's hard to join a new team in the NFL mid-season as a wide receiver, and he deserves a full offseason, but if he keeps putting up stinkers, then the leeway and the patience will run out.
As it should.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's got only a couple more stinkers before people really turn on him. And
before he stops playing, probably.
Either stops playing or he's just Bears fan public enemy number one.
He's teetering on that now. He's in dangerous waters.
Yeah. Man, the Jets. Who would have thought that Zach Wilson would be in this game, dude? I honestly feel bad. I actually feel bad for Jets fans. We have so many Jets fan friends. My brother's a Jets fan.
At the game.
My brother-in-law, Bills fan, also at the game. So I guess I'm happy for him. But that is...
Oh, my God.
That's...
Chris with Shea?
I think so.
Oh, my God.
I don't think Shea would rub it in Chris's face. He might. It depends on if he's been drinking or not.
It's 100% going to rub it in Chris's face.
You're right.
Because Chris will have been shit-talking him probably from the time they started going in the stadium.
I don't know.
I'm pretty confident.
Chris is sometimes cautious when it comes to the Jets. I think he's been hurt a few too many times for him to start talking shit. But if Shea started it, yeah, you're right. Chris would have leaned in.
Yeah, 100%.
You're right. But man, that's rough.
We had briefly discussed last night whether the Giants game was the worst, attending a game experience of all time. This is already, putting up a
fight.
Case.
Yeah, it's putting up a fight. It'll have to go downhill really fast to reach those levels, but it's not good.
Yeah, Rue, you need to keep us updated on this situation.
Rodgers?
Yes.
Yeah.
If he gets ruled out, we need to know.
We'll be getting live look-ins from producer Rue.
Yeah. All right. So the next game on the docket, do you have Panthers-Falcons?
I don't.
All right. What do you have?
No, it's okay. I'll follow your order. If you tell me what game we're doing, It works. I just can't segue at all.
I don't understand Arthur Smith, whatsoever. Even a little bit.
How do you justify giving Tyler Algier that many carries?
How do you justify drafting Kyle Pitts 4th overall, right? Drake London 8th before Olave, Garrett Wilson, and a handful of other enjoyable receivers, and Bijan Robinson 7th?
Yep.
To not use any of them.
He did use Bijan. But
yes.
To give Tyler Algier 15 carries and to give Bijan 10 is disgraceful.
Yes, he used Bijan, and Bijan was electric when he was used.
10 carries, 56 yards.
And that sick receiving touchdown.
Yeah, 6 catches, 27 yards, and a touchdown. Drake London he got one target. He got one target the whole game.
He had one? I didn't even think he had one.
Yeah, he had one. Pitts had 3. I just don't understand. Well,
and he had a sick long catch, Pitts.
Granted, Ritter only completed 15 passes. Which is, I guess he was kind of efficient. No, he was efficient, but for very low yardage. It's not what you want from any level of quarterback.
From a team that has invested that much draft capital into skill positions, It's not what you want whatsoever.
Not at all. On the flip side, Bryce Young, rough showing, I would say.
Yeah, I think we both acknowledge the fact that behind that offensive line, it was going to be really tough to have success early as a young quarterback, especially with the lack of skill positions on that offense. Yeah. I do one more thing on the Falcons, though. Have you seen Arthur Smith's mustache?
Haven't seen it. Should.
Great look for him.
Not good.
No, dude, I'm telling you,
he looks.
That picture doesn't do it justice.
I need to see a better picture because that doesn't look like a good mustache. We're talking Austin Wells. That's a good mustache.
That's a great mustache.
That's actually an excellent mustache. If he ever shaves it, I will be distraught. Fine. Better than the first picture.
I think it's a great look for him. I think it makes him look way slimmer.
Okay. Or he's just gotten slimmer.
It's possible.
And the mustache doesn't have the slimming effect that you think it does.
I think it's a good look.
Okay.
I think he looks way better than he did last season. Anything else on Panthers-Falcons?
Hayden Hurst, leading receiver, was not on my bingo card.
Hayden Hurst, first-round pick back in the day.
I
Waste
have
of a pick.
I have had Hayden Hurst far too many times in fantasy. I punted tight end for many years and I kept hoping because he was in these like good offenses that finally he'd break out and never did.
How about, speaking of fantasy tight ends, everyone that invested a high fantasy pick on a tight end getting no return.
Myself included. George
Me too.
Kittle.
Mark Andrews, yeah.
Yeah. He had 0, right?
He didn't play.
He didn't play at all?
No.
Oh. I didn't have him, so I didn't see. Oh. Girlfriend's going to be pissed. I think she lost her game and I didn't tell her to take out Mark Andrews. That's on me. I didn't get that update. I don't have him in any leagues.
He got ruled out like an hour before the game.
Yeah, that one's on me.
I knew because of Rue. He's plugged in.
Okay.
And he has Mark Andrews too.
He's in the Mandrews cave.
Yep.
All right.
The Mark and Rue cave.
Wow. I'd like to be in that cave. All right. What game do we possibly have next on your bogus board?
Browns Bengals.
All right, that's number 2 on my board.
Your draft board.
Yeah, we still haven't done number 1. Oh, jeez. Josh Allen's climbing out of bushes on my screen.
Oh, I love that commercial.
Not for
Josh Allen.
Not for right now. I don't. All right, tell me a little something about this game while Josh Allen's ad keeps going.
Okay, Joe Burrow pulled for precautionary reasons because it was such a blowout. Jamar Chase looking like a clown for calling the Browns elves, and then said after the game, we just lost to some elves, I think. I'm not 100% sure if I got butt crack sportsed on that one or not.
I saw it too. I didn't double check the source though, so
we're not gonna.
You saying it's butt crack sports, you could be right.
Well, anyway, he said it, confirmed, according to the person that told us.
Okay.
So, blame out of our hands.
If they lied, that's on them. I saw
We've been duped.
Joe Burrow, first person with 30-plus pass attempts and under 100 passing yards. Since?
Trubisky.
No. Sam Darnold in the Seeing Ghost game.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the funnest fact we'll have all episode.
Wow, Jake Browning got in?
Fact.
He's
in that game.
Yeah, wow. That's exciting. My house in college was on Browning Street or Road or whatever.
So big Washington fans.
people just called the house Browning, and we almost bought a Jake Browning jersey.
That would be sick. He was in the Heisman conversation one year, then vanished.
That was probably the year. Otherwise, why would I know who he was?
Your sophomore year?
Nope, my junior year. Which I guess checks out if it was after his big sophomore year.
True.
But yeah, that's
nobody expected this game to go this way. Browns clearly pissed off at the Bengals' nonchalance at facing them.
The Browns own the Bengals. I saw that they've won, I think, 7 of the last 8 matchups or something.
That's hilarious.
It was shocking how much the Browns own the Bengals. I have T. Higgins, so this was not fun.
No, tough week then.
8 targets, 0 catches.
Myles Garrett is my dark horse for depoy.
Okay.
He had at least one big sack.
He had 1 sack, confirmed. But he only had that 1 tackle for loss. Ed, you're gonna need more out of him for depoy.
I agree. I think he'll give him more.
What do you think? Is Deshaun cooked or what?
He looked horrible.
Yeah, he hasn't looked good
since he's been back.
Yeah.
I hope he's cooked. I don't like him.
I don't think.
I would like this trade to go down as hands down the worst ever.
Worse than the Trey Lance one?
Yeah, it's already worse than the Trey Lance one. I think. Trey Lance one, like we talked about, is like very, very bad, but
no, it's the worst.
Win. They're still winning.
The 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still the worst trade ever.
Yeah, in terms of like return on investment, yes.
Yeah.
But when you think about the fact that the Browns gave Deshaun a fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
Took on like all the off the field stuff.
It could pretty easily surpass the Trey Lance one, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, if he's just not good, then it will.
Yeah. And I have no evidence to support him being good.
Since he's been back, there's been like almost no flashes even.
Exactly. He was most effective as a runner. So, not bad. You like it when your quarterback can run, but you want your quarterback, your star quarterback who you gave a fully guaranteed deal to be able to throw a little bit.
Yeah, no one's paying a running back $230 million.
No. 16 for 29 with 154 yards is not going to get it done.
Against a Bengals defense that is really good, but if you're an elite quarterback,
yes,
then
which is what he's paid as.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not what you want. And it's just also the way it looks. It looks so ugly. And you know what? I had Njoku in a league, so he didn't. Me too. That's not great either. Tight ends, bad week for tight ends.
Well, I just had Njoku playing because I needed a spot start for Mark Andrews. Njoku's my backup tight end.
Did any tight end have a good week? Not that I could think of. Hayden Hurst had a good week.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's like 50 yards and a touchdown. That's not great.
It's not great.
Kittle had a catch on like the first drive of the game, and he looked awesome. And I was like, all right, big year out of Kittle. Then didn't do anything else the rest of the game.
That offense was humming, though.
Should we just go into that game?
Yeah,
okay.
It seems like Brock Purdy's actually good.
I've been on the Purdy party forever.
Yeah, you have.
He had one throw, literally one throw his rookie year, and that was enough for me to buy in, and he looked really good.
He just looks like a veteran.
Yeah, he does. And he just runs that offense so well. But it's starting to get to the point where he's making throws that you're like, this guy might actually just be good outside of this offense.
Oh, yeah, it's happened before. I mean,
yeah.
The most famous example is Brady.
Absolutely. Yeah, the system quarterback. People, my cousin, it's half joking, but if I hear one more person tell me Mahomes is a system quarterback, I'm going to lose my mind.
I mean, I don't understand why, like, what argument people can make for that.
I don't know. It's mostly just stupid nonsense stuff, but it's such stupid nonsense stuff that it drives me nuts.
Yeah, because you can't even argue.
No,
like, they win by getting you to try to, like, counter their points, poke holes in their arguments.
You cannot argue that level of stupid. You just can't. But Pickett didn't look as good as I would have thought. I was expecting more out of him. But, I mean, the Niners' defense is arguably the best in the league. One of the best at the very least. So it's okay for him to take his lumps a little bit, but his accuracy just wasn't where it should be.
Yeah, and I know a lot of Steelers fans from the reaction I've seen on social media are very disappointed that the same things that were not working last year for that offense are happening again. I saw George Pickens like some kind of social media post saying, like, watch what he could do if he had a real quarterback.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That's rough.
I don't know that it's so much Pickett, though. They came into this year, their number one question was Matt Canada.
Yeah, that's what the Steelers fans are very frustrated about already.
And they looked so good in preseason that people kind of forgot. But that was one thing we talked about, I think, when we did our regular preview for every team or whatever we did. So they're just the fact that they're reverting back to their offensive last year when they have the same OC as last year isn't surprising.
No, yeah. And especially when teams like the Ravens made that huge switch, bringing in Todd Monken to have a more modern offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest home loss of the Mike Tomlin era in Pittsburgh, which is, I guess, not that shocking considering Mike Tomlin's one of the best coaches ever.
Yeah. Considering it's not like that bad of a loss, it's a pretty crazy stat. But, I mean, it's not a good loss, but 23 points. I mean, the fucking Giants just lost 40-0. So a 23-point loss at home doesn't seem so bad now. But I think it feels bad because expectations were pretty high for Steelers fans. But again, you just ran into a buzzsaw with the 49ers. I don't think no team is going to easily beat the 49ers this year, I'll say. Barring injuries.
They're going to be one of the final two teams left in the conference for sure.
It seems, again, barring injuries, that in my eyes they're kind of destined for a Super Bowl appearance.
It's almost overdue at this point.
It is, for sure. It just feels like all the stars are aligning, and I think they're going to be really freaking good all year.
And if Brock is the guy, then they're kind of on a window now because the biggest competitive advantage in the NFL is a QB on a rookie salary. And the other thing is he's not a first-round pick, so They don't have that extra year of team control in the option.
And I was going to say, and the salary, though, for the last overall pick versus a first-round pick is substantial.
True, yeah.
So the cap space they have because of that contract is considerable.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the 5th-year option because he wasn't a first-round pick, so the window is even shorter until they have to pay him.
Yeah, I mean, but they could just tag him for a couple of years, give him the Kirk Cousins treatment.
That's true, yeah. But it's not shocking that they won in a blowout their first game of the year.
No, not at all. But I do think the Steelers are better than they showed. I don't think this is indicative of how the season's going to go. I think they're going to be much more competitive going forward.
I agree, yeah, 100%.
So for those who could not hear Producer Rue, he gave us the live look into the Rodgers situation. The likely outcome is a high ankle sprain. There's fear that it could be a broken ankle. There is some belief or some sort of sentiment that it's possible it's an Achilles, but that seems less likely. He's out for the game, was carted to the x-ray room, and I guess they're awaiting results, but he was in a boot. So not looking good. Honestly, it's when it rains, it pours for Jets fans, man. They finally have one good thing. That picture looks worse.
That looks like his Achilles is in a million pieces.
That picture looks like it's Achilles. Because that's when it snaps up into your calf. That picture is bad. I cannot believe that this is happening right now. I know. But is there a little part of you that feels bad for our friends? That they have another year of Zach Wilson, dude?
Yes.
Yes. Your personal feelings for Rodgers aside, I'm going to...
But there's no part of you that's, like, that's looking forward to the next season of New York sports radio talk about the Zach Wilson New York Jets?
There is, but, man, it's just... They finally had one good thing happen for them. The Jets have been so bad for so long, dude. I actually feel for them. And their fans weren't as insufferable as I expected them to be when they got him. So I feel bad. I hope it's not the season. I hope he's not out for the season. I hope it's not Achilles.
I hope he's not out for the season either because I don't get to watch him choke.
Whatever gets you there, man. Whatever gets you there. We're on the same page. Well, when the guy's injured, it's definitely a little bit of a low blow, but...
You're not going to see me pull punches against Aaron Rodgers at any point in my professional life.
Okay. What game are we even on? Jaguars-Colts?
Yes, Anthony Richardson's first game. He looked very good at times. I mostly saw the red zone of this game, so the bad I didn't really see. The Jags are very good. Calvin Ridley looked pretty much as electric as you expected him to.
I cannot believe I didn't get him in any leagues, dude. I was all over the Calvin Ridley train.
Should have listened to yourself.
I know, dude. I thought he was going to be awesome. I really did. I fully believed it, and I just couldn't get him ever. I'm so bummed about it, and he looked just as good as I thought he did. Once he caught that touchdown, I was like, God, I knew I messed up big time. But Trevor Lawrence is awesome.
Yeah, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for the foreseeable future.
Sleeper MVP candidate.
I have a ticket in for him to win MVP.
That's a good pick. Anthony Richardson threw the ball better than I thought he would. Didn't run the ball as well as I thought he would.
Didn't run as much as I thought he would either.
Yeah, I just thought he would have more designed runs even than he did. But he got saved by, I think it was like a fullback or a tight end on a crucial third down where he almost threw it away and the guy made like a sick diving catch, but it was like he was throwing it from as far from me to like Producer Rue. It was like, and he almost just airmailed him. There's a lot of examples of his, I guess, rawness when it comes to stuff like that, but...
So we saw the same thing with Josh Allen.
Absolutely. I'm not writing him off at all. I think he has literally every physical tool you could possibly imagine to be successful. And he seems like a really good guy. So I'm rooting for him.
Have you seen the video of his brother?
I have
his
not.
Little brother?
No. He was excited?
Wow. No. This was like at the draft.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I don't know. Show me after. Let's keep going.
All right.
What? Anything else on this game?
The Jags are going to win the division. They were not at their best, and it's important for good teams to pull out games like this still. The Colts, I think, have a bright future. I agree it's surprising that they didn't run Richardson as much, but with that ownership situation, if Gannon or Steichen knows that he's under no pressure to win this season, he might go a little more trial by fire and just, this guy has a lot of improvement to make as a passer. If you let him throw and get those reps, maybe that is a way to fast track that development a little bit. So it's something to keep an eye on.
Definitely. Did you see just how ineffective Indianapolis was at running the football?
I did not.
Deion Jackson, 13 carries, 14 yards.
That's pathetic.
Yeah. Really bad. Jake Funk, 2 carries, 10 yards.
I think he went to Michigan.
I have no idea where he went. Cool name, though.
Funk, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Live by the funk.
What the funk game is next?
That's just A+ work.
Thank you.
All right, the game that is next on my list is the Bake Show in Minnesota taking down
the Buccaneers.
The Vikings.
Oh, damn it. Yes. What'd you think?
Disappointing by the Vikings. Obviously, they were the hot pick to come back down to earth, but this was a little extreme. I don't think they're this bad, putting up 17 points against the Bucs. I don't think the Bucs are going to frequently go on the road and beat playoff caliber teams. I thought Baker looks good in a Bucs uniform. You could have told me he's been there forever. And if I didn't know that he's been everywhere else first, I would have believed you.
Baker does look good as a Buccaneer. He had a solid game, solid, unspectacular. I think he's getting to the point where he can cement himself as a low-end starter, so he won't have to sign backup quarterback deals, but I think he's going to be a classic journeyman, Josh McCown type quarterback for a little while there, or Ryan Fitzmagic type of quarterback.
I think the Bucs probably got exactly what they expected.
Absolutely. I think, honestly, I don't even think the Vikings were, not only are they better than they showed, I think Kirk just lost them this game. Just like, either Kirk and that center, it was just, the Vikings lost this game. They should have won it. They were in the red zone. They fumbled it. Kirk had 2 fumbles and a pick. And it was just like weird turnovers that probably
the games they won last year.
Yes, but it's not the games they won last year. I think this was a preseason not mattering rust loss. I don't think it was because Kirk's underlying stats, you take away those, like a botched snap is like, that's not really a reason they were winning games last year, or a lack of losses last year. Those things are pretty, I would say, uncommon on a day-to-day basis in the NFL. So you take that away. I mean, he's 33 for 44, 344 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think 9 times out of 10, the Vikings win this game.
I think this is one of those losses where if you're a Vikings fan, you probably know that it's not going to be super foreshadowing of what's the season to come.
No, not representative of anything going forward, I don't think. I think it's an outlier loss. I think I'm still with you that they're going to lose more games on the margins than they did last year just because they're immediately the regression candidate, but I just don't think this was that game.
No, I think it's games to better teams like Buffalo where you have that crazy Josh Allen fumble.
Yes, and then the
J-Jeff catch.
Yeah, one of the greatest catches ever.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. What'd you think of Jordan Addison? Big touchdown.
Yeah, I have him in Dynasty. I'm pumped for him. He runs really good routes. He's gonna fill in. I think it's a great situation for him to become accustomed to the NFL game because there's so many other options on that offense.
I agree. And, I mean, just learning behind the best receiver in the NFL is good company.
And the highest paid tight end in the NFL.
True.
Which is not so much learning behind him in the same way it is with Jefferson, but it is having the opportunities that him being on the field with you presents.
And it takes just the burden off you in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all. Bucs surprising win. Their defense did look good, though.
Vita Vea was still a monster.
To their credit, defense did look good.
The next game that I have
On
is
your big board.
Titans and Saints.
Okay.
This is about... If you had told me the final score of this game going in, I would have believed you with everything I have.
A nice nothing burger game.
Yep.
This
Challenge
is-
on the opening kickoff of the season by Vrabel.
Ooh, Tannehill. Actually, just first time looking at the stat line.
Put up a stinker.
That's bad.
Maybe the worst game of his career.
That's very possible. 16 for 34, 3 picks. Yikes.
The Titans forced the fumble on the opening kickoff, which was initially ruled out of bounds. Vrabel threw the challenge flag. I've never seen a team season open like that, and they got the ball.
Mm-hmm. Ty J. Spears on the field more than Derrick Henry.
That's insane.
Higher percentage. And every, I believe, third down.
That makes sense for third and longer yardage.
But every single third down?
Doesn't make sense
Yeah.
without knowing anything else.
I think I don't think I'm wrong here. I think it was every single third down,
I
which is
believe you.
crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry's still on a huge deal.
I mean, yeah, and he was running the ball pretty well.
You're paying him no matter what.
Yeah. But a nothing burger game. Olave's really good, I think. I think we all kind of knew that. Derek Carr is
Looks
an upgrade.
Looks good in black and gold.
Not a huge difference from before.
No, just different shade of metal.
Yeah. I like Derek Carr. It's just, again, nothing burger game.
Yeah, literally almost nothing happened.
Yeah.
Cardinals and Commanders, Sam Howell's debut. He had a nice touchdown to Brian Robinson Jr., even though he missed a wide open number one, Jahan Dotson, in the middle of the field.
I think it's hard to grade Sam Howell. I think it'll be hard to grade him kind of all year because this is kind of his rookie year.
It is, yeah.
I don't view this as like the most obvious example is Patrick Mahomes, like sat out his rookie year and then came in and blew up the league. That's not always going to be the case. I mean, not to that extent, of course, but I just mean like he still has to go through his growing pains. Most do. Like but I think he showed flashes again. I think he's solid. Certainly an upgrade over what they've had.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are not fielding a competitive team at any point this season.
Worst team in football. Josh Dobbs seems like a nice guy.
The atmosphere at FedEx Field was pretty electric, though. New ownership, first game of a new era, a lot of stars there. Seems like they're going to be bringing in some pretty famous athletes throughout the season. I know KD was there.
Yeah, they're just trying to revamp the old image, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
As they should.
Yeah.
It's been in the toilets
Fans love
for a
it.
couple years.
Advertisers are flooding back.
Yeah. Again, kind of another nothing burger game. I was disappointed in Jahan Dotson's performance. I didn't think Curtis Samuel was going to be the leading receiver. Didn't see that coming at all. I didn't see Logan Thomas getting 8 targets. Yeah. Terry McLaurin, 4 targets, only 2 catches. There was a discussion about whether Terry McLaurin is a star in the NFL. I fall on no. Where do you fall on that?
I would say no, but
on
he
another
has the
team?
ability to be a star. Well, no, it's just like if he could stay healthy and maybe with more consistent quarterback play. But I would say he was a star. He has been a star in the past.
I think if you redo his career on another team, it's better almost in every other scenario.
I would say that for almost everyone on that team, though.
Not Sam Howell.
Almost everyone on that team.
Fair enough. But I just think he's more talented than his stats would show. But you need stats to be a star.
I agree with that. I think if he stays healthy, though, he'll start to put them up again.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
Next game on the board, Ravens and Texans, the debut of C.J. Stroud. Zay Flowers looked electric. The Ravens' offense was put on a pretty impressive performance. The Texans are going to be really bad, so there's not a ton to read into if you're a Ravens fan. Anything on this one?
J.K. Dobbins went down out for the year.
Career over, probably.
You think?
He's a free agent after this year. He has missed like 3 straight seasons.
Yeah, but how old is he still? Like 25?
24.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he could get another shot. I don't know if he'll...
It's a little Tirico-esque.
Yeah, it is, but I feel like he did more than Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen was like flashes.
Tariq Cohen was a pro, maybe an all-pro one year, but as a special teams guy.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
It's not, but he was a good running back too.
He was a good running back, or he caught some passes out of the backfield, and you liked him?
He was a good running back as a pass-catching back.
Yeah, but I feel like J.K. Dobbins has, whenever he's played, produced.
Yeah, I agree
beyond
with that.
just
But he doesn't
being
play.
a gadget player. Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying I think he'd get another chance. He's still young enough. If he was 28, I would say it's no chance. But 24,
It's just like
25?
a running injury-plagued running back with a season-ending injury.
Yeah, but it's a no-risk, high-reward type of signing.
I guess, yeah.
And a lot of teams need running backs, and they're not going to pay for him, so.
True.
Stroud looked like a rookie.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's going to be good, but I didn't.
The team's still... People, like... You bring in 2 top 5 picks, people tend to forget the fact that you were picking that high for a reason.
I forgot Bobby Trees was on that tree.
Looked good.
Was on that team.
It's on that tree.
Was in that forest.
Yeah, he had some nice catches. He seems to be the number 1 target.
I would have liked Dameon Pierce to get some more carries. Yeah, I have him in fantasy, I think in 2 leagues, so a little bit disappointing, but always time to turn it around. Gus Edwards is probably the priority waiver claim going forward, I would imagine.
I agree with that. He often finds himself being that at some point.
I know, he's like the ultimate handcuff, but I didn't get him in any leagues either.
Next game, Raiders-Broncos. Jimmy G's debut. Both teams not great. The Broncos' offense still very boring. Devontae Adams looked nice. Michael Mayer had a nice catch, but besides that, this game was not. That didn't have anyone glued to their television.
No, Josh Jacobs inefficient, 19 carries, 48 yards. Samaje Perine actually had a pretty nice game. I have him in fantasy, so I was pretty happy about that. I feel like the Broncos got off to like a pretty hot start and then just fizzled out super hard. But the second I saw, I think it was their first touchdown, I was like, all right, this is the statement game that I was talking about to you. And then they had 3 points in the second half.
They probably just had a lot of their opening stuff scripted.
Probably. But, I mean, you got an efficient Russell Wilson at least. Sorry, not an efficient, an accurate Russell Wilson. 27 to 34. He's just not that guy anymore.
No. He really never was the guy that he thought he was.
He is the guy who never received an MVP vote.
Yes.
And that's starting to make more sense as we get further away from it.
It's still going to be interesting to see what that team does going forward, though. The Broncos.
I think they're stuck with him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But with Sean Payton there, we'll see what they even try to do. Like, he's going to be there longer than... Sean Payton will be there longer than Russ will.
I think so. I think Sean Payton is a good enough coach that he can craft an offense that even if Russell Wilson is Mr. Dink and Dunk game manager, that they can find success. It doesn't help that they had their top, or 3 of their top 4 wide receivers go down before this game.
True.
So that, I mean, again, their top receiver was Samaje Perine. So it's not what you want. And you don't want your number 2 receiver being Adam Troutman either. So I think, I mean, we'll see with Judy what he is, because we've never seen what Judy is. But if he can go and be a semi-decent number 1 option for them, I think it helps. I mean, it obviously helps, but this season is going to be super interesting for the Broncos. I don't think they're as bad as they were last year, but I don't know how good they are.
They can't be as bad as they were last year.
True, but I guess my question or my statement is more that I still just don't know who they are or how good they can be. I know how bad they were.
No, bad.
And I know their floor shouldn't be what it was, but I don't know what their ceiling is.
That's fair. I don't think they do.
No. Let's move on to the next game.
So, next game, the Eagles beat the Pats 25-20. Sloppy game all around. It was a monsoon beforehand. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it contributed a little bit, but the Eagles looked a little rusty. The Pats hung around because of that. I actually thought Mac looked way better than last year, like infinitely better.
Way better.
Yeah.
Mac looked like who he did his rookie year when people were like, this guy could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I was very impressed, especially late in that game when I tuned in primarily to that game late, and he looked really good. I was very impressed. It's a classic week 1 game, I think. I don't think the Eagles won unconvincingly, I'd say. Again, I thought the Pats would hang tight. I think they're better than they were, but I also think the Eagles are better than they showed. So, again, as with almost all week 1 games, I don't think it's indicative of the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think the positives are there for the Patriots to take out of it, and the areas of improvement are evident for the Eagles to see.
Yes, absolutely. I was surprised to see the running back by committee not being a running back by committee at all, and just being all
job.
Gainwell. Yeah. There was some murmurs that was a possibility, that it was his job, not so much a DeAndre Swift or even a Rashad Penny who didn't have a single carry, which was surprising. But I thought it would be a very much so a committee. I didn't see him getting every carry but 2.
Stunned.
Yeah. That was surprising. Jalen Hurts, I needed him in fantasy. I invested in Jalen Hurts big this year, and I needed him, and he let me down. Upsetting. Kendrick Bourne big game. Who saw that coming?
100%. Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Butte had that 4th down catch, college rules catch, couldn't get a second foot in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think coming away with a win is important for the Eagles because they were very far from their very best.
Yeah, it's who did we say this about earlier? Good teams pull out
Jags.
these games. Yeah, the
Jags.
Not at their best, but still, you pull out a win in those kind of games. The really good teams do.
Yes, and the Eagles we know they're a really good team.
Yeah, really good teams find ways to win.
Are the Chargers or the Dolphins a really good team? The Dolphins beat the Chargers in a shootout, maybe the game of the year.
I think the Dolphins have a top 3 offense in the NFL.
Do they have a top 10 quarterback?
I don't know. Maybe. See, Tua hasn't done enough. His throw to Tyreek in the end zone was pretty spectacular.
And the one to get him downfield, too, on the run.
Yes, that too. I think I'm being hard on Tua. I think I am. Because I bought into Brock Purdy earlier, but Tua's just so injury-prone.
Yeah, 100%.
That it makes it hard for me to fully believe or just like want to put any sort of, not really emotional investment, but just any level of commitment to a guy that's on the fence is some level of emotional investment, regardless of if you like the team or not. So I don't know. Tua's done a lot. I just don't know if he's done enough for me to put him in the top 10.
When he's healthy, there haven't been many quarterbacks better.
I know. But, as they say, what is the best ability?
Availability.
So, I would like to see a full season of health from Tua.
I hope we get that this year.
If we do, the Dolphins are going to be really good and really hard to beat. Tyreek Hill is
going to go for 2,000.
Yeah, I told you that guy. Whoever said that, I have no idea who said that, but he said he was firmly of the belief that Tyreek was going for 2,000 receiving yards.
Well, he's probably going to be right.
Yeah, he's on pace for I think 3,600.
That would double the record almost.
Yeah, 15 targets, 11 catches, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. You never would have thought that leaving the Chiefs was a smart decision for Tyreek Hill.
For stat purposes.
For stat purposes,
and
no, I'm talking overall respect.
Legacy?
Yeah, because this is everyone thought he was a little bit of a product of the system. And everyone last year, I think Tyreek Hill might have been a 2nd or 3rd round fantasy pick.
He was.
And now, if you could redo fantasy drafts right now, Tyreek Hill's probably a top 3 pick.
Without a doubt, yeah.
So, I think for legacy, for his standing, I think he's 2nd best receiver in football.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Who's Jamar is the one you're debating?
Cooper Kupp's up there.
Oh, yeah. When healthy. But again, his health issues are concerning.
Noted.
They don't know how long he's going to be out for.
I don't know how they could. That guy.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
whole team.
Made of paper mache.
Yeah.
Really good game, though.
Yeah, not very worried about the Chargers. I still think that they're undercoached.
I do too. I swear Justin Herbert's elite.
Yeah,
I'm certain of it. And I feel like they're babying him. Like, give him something to do. What'd you get Quentin Johnston for and Mike Williams if you're not going to use them?
Yeah, I mean, they've drafted two receivers in the first round, both those guys. Herbert is a robot in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to fire Staley within the next 2 years.
They should have fired him last year.
Yeah, I agree.
I think right after that loss, fired.
On the tarmac?
Yeah. Find your own way home. I can't believe he stuck around for another year, but Austin Eckler looked really good. He's hurt now, I heard.
Yeah, ankle, I think.
As always.
Yep. But just day to day, like missing practice.
Yeah, I know it, but it's just some guys just find ways to get injured.
They got none of the luck.
Yeah. Really good game, though. I think both teams are really good. Dolphins are a team to watch out for.
We got two more.
All right.
Rams, Seahawks. This one we can kind of breeze through because there was more just a terrible showing from the Seahawks than anything from the Rams. Although I did say Stafford and McVay, that don't count them out.
You did, but I also said I wasn't a believer in Geno. And
That's true.
And he did not reward your faith this week.
No, he did not.
I'm not saying he's going to be bad all year, but he did not look good.
QB watch Seattle.
I can't. No, not yet. They gave him a big deal.
Well, yeah, but with outs.
Oh.
I just meant QB watch for next year's draft.
Okay, fair. But yeah, Stafford looked good. My boy Puka Nacua got him in 2 leagues before the week even started.
Is he just going to be the next Cooper Kupp?
They probably.
I'm cool with that.
McVay said they were going to use him in immediately, and that was all I needed to see to sign him up. Bring him aboard.
We should get his jersey. We should have him on the podcast. Probably got a lot of requests right now.
Yeah, we should have had him on when I claimed him off waivers. That would have been good. Yeah, not great. Not great at all out of the Seahawks. Disappointing given their expectations.
Yes, and their draft class, which was very strong.
Mm-hmm. And Zach Charbonnet did not split carries.
DK looked good.
DK did look good. Only got 5 targets. I just don't love... Oh, I actually didn't even know that JSN was back.
Yes.
Not good.
No, not a great start.
But I didn't know he was back. Yeah, 5 targets. Not bad. All right.
We got to talk about it.
I know.
The floor's yours.
I'm upset for many reasons about the Giants game. We're talking about the Giants game.
Tom's a Giants fan.
I'm very obviously a Giants fan. I have so many... I don't think this was, like I've said a lot, I don't think this was indicative of who the Giants are.
There's no way they're this bad.
No, they're nowhere close to this bad. Most teams aren't ever this bad. This is the worst loss I've ever seen. I think the rain was a big factor. It was really coming down. I think it was the type of thing where they got punched in the mouth and they didn't know how to bounce back, and then it kept snowballing, and then at a certain point it was just out of their hands. Who they were on that first drive where they were able to run the ball and generate some sort of offense, I think is more representative of who they are. But there's 2 main areas of concern for me off this game. Evan Neal might actually just be bad. I said I thought he was gonna be good. I didn't know how good. Now I think he actually might be Eric Flowers.
Oh, wow. That bad?
He was horrific yesterday. He wasn't even getting out of his stance sometimes.
I don't really understand how he's that bad. Ruse explained it to me.
He's not fast enough to compete for these athletes, and his technique isn't good. And so he would have some plays where his technique was better because he worked on it all offseason, but he wasn't athletic enough. And then he would have
Which is crazy because he looks like a freak athlete.
I know. I think they're going to have to move him to guard. I think he's going to have to be a guard. I just don't think he can play tackle. And the fact that Glowinski, I think, gave up 6 sacks or 4 sacks last night or something ridiculous. Dana Jones was pressured, which I think this is actually low, on 63% of dropbacks.
It's not possible. there was not a single drop back that Daniel Jones wasn't running.
That's what I'm saying. There were, I guess, the only thing is there were some quick passes where they just were
even
snap
then,
pass.
I know.
Then
He was
they were in his face, and people are. See, what pisses me off the most, though, I have so many emotions. I go from sad to understanding to pissed off because now everyone on Twitter is using this as a punchline. Oh, $40 million for Daniel Jones. Like, Giants fans who didn't like him already are using this as more ammo to dislike him, more evidence that he's bad. Daniel Jones this was exactly like what it was watching Eli at the end of his career. The guy's fighting for his life out there. We saw how bad Joe Burrow looked. Highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He looked awful. What was the stat I gave? 30 plus pass attempts and less than 100 yards? Worse since Sam Darnold? And that's because his O-line failed him. Daniel Jones' O-line failed him today. Left side was actually solid. Andrew Thomas was dealing with, he pulled his hammy a little bit on the either the blocked field goal. Yeah, I think it was the blocked field goal. And so he was fighting out there the whole time, and he held his own against Micah Parsons whenever he was matched up against him. He had that one false start, which hurt, but the right side was so bad. And the second area that is concerning for me is that pass rush. Ojulari had a really good rookie year, didn't get to have his second-year breakout last year because of injuries. Kayvon Thibodeau's a top 5 pick, and he just was a no-show last night. They didn't get a single sack on Dak. They only knocked him down twice.
Dak did nothing.
Dak did nothing, but they got no pressure on Dak at all.
I agree that there is not one single thing that you can take from this game about Daniel Jones.
Yes.
He had, there was nobody could have done anything.
It's not exactly the same. And I'm not comparing them talent-wise, but
This is
Mahomes in the Super Bowl,
yeah.
You saw what happened to him when he had no time. Guys need time. It's how the Giants beat Brady twice, was they got so much pressure in his face that he just couldn't play his game. Guys need time, and Daniel Jones he had a few bad moments, which, again, you're scrambling around for your life trying to just not get sacked every goddamn play. You're trying to make things happen. I can't fault him for trying to make things happen sometimes. But anyone who's using this as more Daniel Jones' bad evidence didn't watch the game.
Yeah, 100%. They just saw the stat line.
Yeah, there was nothing the guy could have done out there. I think the Cowboys have a really, really good defense, one of the best in the league, and the Giants' right side of their line is shaky.
Not even.
I'm not giving it at best. It is shaky, and then some.
Yeah, cause for concern.
It might just be bad. But Glowinski's had success. Evan Neal hasn't yet. But again, the two of them together had issues, especially against the Cowboys, because of all the stunts they run. So I don't know. I'm concerned about Evan Neal.
It's got to be top 5 worst viewing experiences of all time. Going to that game as a Giants fan, weather, travel, result.
No, it's number 1.
I'm saying in sports history.
You threw in the as a Giants fan, so I wasn't sure if we were.
If you're a Giants fan,
yes. If you're a Cowboys fan in attendance, it doesn't feel so bad that it's raining like that.
No.
Yeah, you're right. Being a Giants fan in that game has to be a top 5 worst fan experience. Yeah, I could be with that.
Maybe only rivaled by being at the Jets game right now.
Yeah, man. Tough couple days for New York sports.
New York football. Hasn't even been 24 hours.
Yeah, not great. All right, that does it. Giants will win next week against the Cardinals, but they need to win big.
To make a statement?
Yeah.
Does it matter if it's the worst team against the worst team in the league? Everyone will be
it's not about making a statement so much as if they don't win big, everyone's going to be talking about them.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They have to win big. Yes.
So they're playing to prove a point about how bad they're not.
Yes. It's not going to show. They're not going to blow out the Cardinals, and people are going to be like, "Oh, the Giants are actually good." No, they need to do this to just restore some level of faith.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a fun recap of week 1, awesome to have football back. Scott Hansen got a standing ovation from me and Rue.
He did great. It was I didn't get to fully enjoy it because I was watching on my laptop. I've always had a Siciliano because I have DirecTV, so my first real Scott Hansen experience hasn't happened yet, but I'm looking forward to it. From my small-ish sample size, great performance.
Great performance, yeah.
Yeah.
As always.
All right. For awards, I believe that I am first because yes. You were awards first last week. I was first for last take, worst take, and so now I'm first for awards.
Sweet.
All right. If you're thinking with your creative brain, you'll get this one, but it's going to be deep in the back of your mind. I don't know. You'll have to work with me here.
Okay.
So I'm giving the Elonathan Muskrat Award.
Is this going to somebody whose name like that can be expanded on to be something not even just totally ridiculous?
Yes. Something that we experienced together. I think producer Rue knows. I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
I have no idea.
Okay. It is going to Jalen Huluhaslivesports.
Oh, yeah.
Producer Rue, were you on it? No? Okay. It was just such a good marketing gimmick. I had to give them the award. If you haven't seen it, they have Jalen Hurts jersey. They take it and just open it up into Huluhaslivesports, and whoever thought of that deserves a raise.
100%. Deserves
It's
to be
so good.
in the C-suite.
Absolutely. Jalen Huluhaslivesports is just genius.
Genius, yeah.
I thought you had a chance because when I said we experienced it together, I thought
was
that's
just
how
thinking
we
of the
get
game.
there. The Giants game? Yeah. Okay.
My first award is the Dr. Arnie Mazzola Award.
Is he from Marvel?
Yes.
Is he the little weird guy? The one who turns into a computer? Is this going to someone who turns into a computer? Maybe? Oh, I'm cramping.
Who knows that I can hear that he just figured it out.
Someone who turns into a computer, literally or figuratively?
Literally, I would say. Literally?
Yeah. What the hell? Turns into a computer. Can you give me the reasoning? Is it exactly what I guessed?
It's pretty much what happened to Zola. See, if you didn't see this thing that I'm referencing, it would make no sense to you.
I may not have seen it. All right, tell me what it is. Oh, I did see that, but I wasn't thinking of it like that. You know what though? I should have gotten there. I saw that briefly. I didn't think of that as being AI though. I was thinking that of being more like concerts that they do with the holograms, but this is interactive. It's smarter than the Tupac hologram.
So for those that are listening
or
even watching,
we didn't even say what it was.
I showed Tom an article saying Cowboys reveal artificial intelligence hologram version of Jerry Jones. Dr. Zola in Marvel implanted himself into a computer so that he could live on forever and bomb that barracks that Captain America was in the end. Jerry Jones has had the Cowboys develop an AI version of Jerry Jones that is at AT&T Stadium and will probably continue running the Cowboys for Jerry Jones after he dies.
They said that part?
No.
Oh, thank God. I was about to...
But, I mean, what, you don't think that's going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know. It seemed pretty good when people were, talking to it. It was pretty effective.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. If
all you got to do is ask him, hey, should we pay Dak $40 million?
Does he have that? Do you have to ask it certain prompts?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
I'd like to know more.
We will have a sit-down interview.
We'll
have him
Jerry
on the
Jones
podcast.
hologram.
Yeah.
I wonder... So now that when he's alive and this exists, it's cool. Right?
Yes.
When he's dead and this exists, it's fucking weird.
Okay, counterpoint. What if Jerry Jones has died long ago, and what
They bring
we
it
see
back?
No. What we see now is a robot Jerry Jones, and the AI Jerry Jones was developed to just get the attention off of everything.
Off of Robot Jones?
Yeah, Robo Jones.
I mean, I guess that's cool.
Yes,
That's,
I think it's
yeah,
probably cool.
That's cooler, yeah. The fact that this could be Robo Bob Jones that we're talking about here is... Or not Bob Jones, Jerry Jones. You got me all messed up with Robo. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird stuff going on in this world, man. All right. My second and final award of the evening is the Ultimate Kick to the Nuts Award.
Is this something that happened in the last hour?
No, it is
Okay.
not. Something that happened in the last... let's
USA
say
basketball.
I'll say 48 hours. Hits me close to home. Not Giants related.
Jason Dominguez.
Jason Dominguez.
Torn UCL.
Yep. Yankees no hit through 10 innings. Somehow miraculously come back and win in extras. Things are bad in Yankee land already. That win is the least comforting win of all time. 2 hours later, an hour later, it comes out that Jason Dominguez needs Tommy John. It's just... That is all Yankee fans had to look forward to this year. He was the only shining light we possibly had left other than Cole Cy Young. And now it's just hopeless and sad. And it changes almost everything. It has, like, really major ramifications.
When is the earliest he could be back by in the majors?
It's hard to say because... It's really hard to say because the recovery time with, position players is different than pitchers.
How long did it take for Bryce to come back?
I think his was only like 6 months.
Did he have the same procedure?
He hasn't had the procedure yet.
Oh.
But Bryce also could only play first base and DH. He can't
Wait,
throw.
no, who hasn't had the procedure? Dominguez.
Dominguez
But is he
hasn't.
going to, I mean?
I don't know
Or
if
they don't know.
He's going to have Tommy John. But I don't know if it's the same procedure or as Bryce or whatever. I'm
Is
not
that just
sure.
like an every case is different kind of thing?
I just don't know how the surgeries work. It could be the same exact surgery. I know they developed some new thing for pitchers where they put some weird like sleeve in there. I am not a doctor in any way, so I don't know. But hearing Michael Kay try to explain it, even he had no idea what was going on. It was for Zach Britton they did it, which clearly it didn't work so well.
No.
So I don't know. I think the earliest he'll be back would be 6 months, but I think that's generous. And then the question is, what do the Yankees do in the offseason? Because you can't expect to have him back at the start of next year. If you can't expect to have him back at the start of next year, you need a center fielder. You need You need 2 outfielders now. And then when he comes back, do you start him in AAA? Does he work his way back? We still don't even know how good he actually is. Like, yeah, he burst onto the scene, but we had, 1 week of games? A week and a half? We were supposed to have 5 weeks of games with him. We were supposed to, really have an idea if he was the guy for next year. And now we just don't know shit. And it really just messed with the whole timeline. It was just, again, the ultimate kick to the nuts. Yankees fans did not need this. And granted, the ultimate kicks to the nuts is now Aaron Rodgers. So this is ultimate kick to the nuts 1.0. Now that 2.0 just happened. But, yeah.
Considering all the how long the hype around him has been there too.
It's been
years,
4 or 5 years,
at least. Yeah.
And then to follow that up with the freaking Giants was just adding insult to
Kicking
injury.
the other
Yeah, that was one was kicking the right nut, one was kicking the left nut, and then it was just all bad. Not good.
My second award is the Boom, There Goes the Dynamite award.
All right, I need more.
Do you know that clip?
Yeah.
So it's just something an announcer says.
Yeah, boom goes the dynamite.
That leaves you.
You threw an extra there in there. I feel like it's just boom goes the dynamite.
I can't remember exactly.
Producer-oo?
Anyway.
Tiebreaker?
I thought it was boom there.
Boom, there goes the dynamite? That sounds too long. Quick Google machine search.
Boom goes the dynamite.
1 versus 2.
So to the boom goes the Dynamite Award.
Yes. I still don't know who it is.
It's something an announcer says that leaves you being like, what did he just say?
Oh, I think I know what it is, but I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, it's Crumbs.
Yes, it's Crumbs.
Oh,
of course it's Crumbs.
okay.
So, in the game last night, Daniel Jones was sacked on the infamous MetLife Stadium field, the turf, and he had the pellets. They're called pellets. Everybody knows they're called pellets. All over his face and uniform, and he gets up, and Mike Tirico, the face of NBC's football play-by-play, says that he has field crumbs all over him. We were stunned. Stunned, not silent, but stunned with laughter.
I don't know if he understands just how funny that is.
No, other people don't either. I searched crumbs on Twitter.
Nothing?
No.
Oh my God. Calling it field crumbs is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever experienced.
I just wish it went viral because other people need to know how insane this was.
I bet we can't even find a clip of it.
I might rewatch the whole game.
That you might have to. Because
I'm willing to.
I don't know. I don't think anyone. If this is really not a thing that people are talking about, which is shocking, because that's hilarious. We need to find the clip.
I will before next episode.
Yes.
Before this episode comes out, I'll find the clip.
If ever. If ever. Got a big weekend coming up.
All right, we are gonna skip last take, worst take this week for Monday Night Football. So that is episode 21. We're going to try to do our best to get this out as soon as we can. But like Tom said, we got a pretty packed week. Do you have anything to add?
I have everything to add.
Okay.
Where they can find us.
Yes, which is everything.
Which is the most important part of the whole episode. You can find us on... All right, let's do this. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Podbean. This is a new record. I got 11.
Wow.
Overcast, Podcast DB. That's all I got for now. I said TikTok.
Okay.
I said I nailed the big ones. There's some extra add-ons on the end. We're everywhere, and you can find us. Google, you'll find us, I think. I've never tried Googling us. Maybe don't Google us. YouTube, you could find us.
Unless a lot of people Googling us will help people find us on via Google.
If so, then Google us.
Google the shit out of us.
Google us as many times as possible and leave us nice reviews. That about does it.
Yeah, that is episode 21 of the Breaks Down podcast. Thank you, producer Rue. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mikey Caps. Thank you for Squirt for putting up a terrible showing in fantasy. Breaks Down podcast 528.
See you next week.
I always end with Breaks Down.
No! Before we go,
We're back.
fist pump. We
Wow,
almost
that could've been
missed it.
bad.
That would have had catastrophic consequences.
Yeah.
All right. See you next week.